what about all the other planets? That's what people ask when you tell them that the Earth is flat, because obviously they presuppose that the Earth is in fact a planet when it's not. That's what's in contention. So let's look at the etymology of the word planet. Alright, so all stars move from east to west. Planets also move from east to west. They just move in a different path. So now when we look at the etymology of the word planet, it's quite literally a wandering star. That's literally all it is. It's a star like we see in the sky. It's just on a different path, but it still moves east to west. This is the paths that the planets actually make over a flat geocentric Earth. Beautiful, right? Now, where do we get these shapes from? We can get these shapes from a device called a ferrocell that lets us see the magnetic field lines of a magnet. So if you take two pieces of optical flat glass, put ferrofluid in the middle, and then a ring of LED lights on the outside, and you put a magnet on top, it literally lets you see the magnetic field lines of a magnet. Coincidentally, they match up perfectly with the paths of the planets. Such as Earth would be in the center. This is mapping out all the planets over a flat geocentric Earth, and they all fall perfectly in line with that ferrocell magnetic torus design. It's beautiful. And now remember, people think that Earth is a planet, so let's look at the etymology of Earth. Earth, it's not a planet, it's ground, soil, dirt, dry land. That's what Earth is. Alright, now here is a general idea of where we live. So when we talk about Earth, that's just these land masses that are above the water. That's Earth. People think of Earth as an object, that we're on a ball floating through space. Okay, and even when you talk about flat Earth, we're not a disk floating in space. We're effectively the basement, the bottom floor of the entire Earth. Okay, so remember, all these continents that are popping up above the water, that's technically Earth. It's not an object. Okay, so when you ask, what about all the other planets? Well, there you go. Planets are just wandering stars. They're just lights in the sky. We can't land on them. Okay, the Earth is physically contained by some sort of dome, structure, vault, whatever you want to call it. We can't leave, okay? Soak it up.
You're confusing an optical effect with actual observation. The opposite rotations around the north and south are nothing more than a refraction artifact through the medium. The same thing I can replicate on my kitchen table with a magnifying glass over concentric circles. It looks like two opposite spins, but in reality, it's just light bending through a lens. That's not proof of a globe, that's proof of optics. This whole opposite rotation in the south proves the globe trope is built on a misunderstanding. Even the globe model doesn't actually claim the sky reverses. If the sun and moon don't suddenly flip direction when you cross the equator, then neither do the stars. Everywhere on Earth, the reality is the same. There is one consistent motion across the sky, east to west. Love you.
Old Nixon called the moon on a landline. He called them up and they answered straight away. They didn't have mobile phones back then, and they had to make notes with paper and a pen. But the landline worked and there wasn't a delay. Oh, they passed through radiation fire. They didn't conspire, so don't inquire. They didn't wear wires and they're not liars. They wore the attire, they're not actors for hire. They passed through radiation fire in a craft that looked like a tumble dryer. But they didn't wear wires and they're not liars. So just believe what I say. Now they didn't have no laptops or computers. They didn't have CDs or MP3. The television was black and white, but they managed to get to the moon just right. Cause of 1969 technology, oh, they passed through radiation fire. They didn't conspire, so don't inquire. They didn't wear wires and they're not liars. They wore the attire, they're not actors for hire. They passed through radiation fire in a craft that looked like a tumble dryer. But they didn't wear wires and they're not liars. So just believe what I say. With all that, then you probably think the earth is flat. You don't understand science, you believe in giants, and it's just more conspiracies. Oh, didn't conspire, so don't inquire. They didn't wear wires and they're not liars. They wore the attire, not actors for hire. They passed the radiation fire in a craft that looked like a tumble dryer. But they didn't wear wires and they're not liars, so just believe what I say.
Why is Flat Earth the most banned, most mocked, and yet the most viral conspiracy theory in history? Think about it. Out of all the wild ideas out there, aliens, secret societies, time travel, nothing triggers people like the words Flat Earth. If it's so ridiculous, why is it still everywhere? Why do platforms rush to censor it? Why do governments and scientists act like it's dangerous to even discuss? Here's the first strange thing. Flat Earth content goes mega viral. Videos questioning the globe get millions of views, faster than almost any other conspiracy. The more media mocks it, the more people get curious and click. In marketing, that's called the Streisand effect. The harder you try to hide something, the bigger it grows. Now ask yourself this, if Flat Earth is just a joke, why does it need this level of suppression? You can find endless alien theories online, nobody cares. But post about Flat Earth, instant fact-check labels, bans, takedowns. Why? If it's nonsense, wouldn't people just laugh and move on? Here's the second layer. Flat Earth questions the foundation of reality. It's not about a shape. It's about whether the entire system has lied from the very beginning. If the Earth is flat, it means governments, space agencies, even schools have staged one of the biggest deceptions ever. That would mean control on a level far beyond politics. It's about controlling the map of your entire existence. And here's the wildest part. Flat Earth keeps people awake at night. Even globe believers admit the questions stick. Why can't we see real live footage of Earth spinning? Why are there thousands of satellite images, but all admitted to be composites? Why can't commercial planes cross Antarctica directly? Why does the horizon always rise to eye level instead of curving away? Each question plants doubt. Doubt creates obsession. Obsession drives views, and views keep Flat Earth in the spotlight no matter how hard it's attacked. So let's flip the script. What if the real reason Flat Earth is mocked isn't because it's dumb, but because it's dangerous to the system? Dangerous because once you pull on that thread, you stop trusting the official story about anything. And the moment billions of people start questioning, control begins to break. That's why Flat Earth is unique. It's not just a theory, it's a test. A test of how willing you are to question authority, question science, and even question the very ground beneath your feet. So I'll leave you with this. Maybe Flat Earth isn't popular because it's true or false. Maybe it's popular because it touches something deeper. It's the one idea that forces you to look at your world and wonder if everything you've been told since childhood might be a script written for you. And that's why no matter how much they censor it, Flat Earth refuses to die. This video is for entertainment purposes.
This is the ISS, and you know what it really stands for? It's called the International Sci-Fi Station. I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but literally everything that NASA puts out is sci-fi. It's animation. It's Photoshop. This is Apollo 11. This is Apollo 8. This is the exact same Earth, the exact same clouds. What a coincidence that must be, eh? They tell you that the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. 10 miles per hour, smoke. 1,000 miles per hour, smoke. Makes sense. Physics. Spinning ball, the water all leaves at the equator. Our spinning ball, there's land at the equator. Makes sense. This is the technology we went to the moon with in 1969 that we destroyed and we can't build back. This absolute masterpiece. By the way, this would cost $22 billion to build nowadays. Does that make sense to you guys? Look at it. But the eyes are useless when the mind is blind. Peace and love.